Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has hit out at US President Donald Trump. Khamenei has accused Trump of being responsible for the casualties that have taken place in Iran over the last few weeks amid the widespread protests. The US-based rights group HRANA has reported over 3,000 people have been killed in the crackdown which followed the protests. And Khamenei has laid the blame squarely on Trump, saying that Iran finds the US president guilty for the deaths, damage and slander inflicted on the nation. Khamenei also accused the US of wanting to devour Iran so that Washington could bring Tehran under its military, political and economic domination again.
این خصوصیت در این فتنه بود که شخص رئیس جمهور آمریکا، شخص خود او تو این فتنه دخالت کرد، حرف زد، اظهار نظر کرد، تهدید کرد، فتنه‌گران رو تشویق کرد، پیغام داد از آمریکا به این کسانی که رو بعد خواهم گفت کی بودن که بری جلو نترسید. گفت از شما حمایت میکنیم، حمایت نظامی میکنیم. یعنی خود رئیس جمهور آمریکا وارد فتنه شد، جزء فتنه است.
Khamenei also instructed Iranian security officials to break the backs of the seditionists. His comments came on the heels of Trump thanking the Iranian leadership for sparing some protesters. Trump said that more than 800 hangings were scheduled but were cancelled at the last minute. Thanking the Iranian leadership, Trump said that the decision weighed heavily in his choice not to launch a military strike. According to reports, despite the de-escalation in rhetoric, US military assets are being moved into the region to address ongoing tensions.
Did Arab and Israeli officials convince you to not strike Iran?
Nobody convinced me. I convinced myself. You had yesterday scheduled over 800 hangings. They didn't hang anyone. They canceled the hangings. That had a big impact.
Rights groups say protests in Iran have largely subsided, but only after a brutal crackdown that killed thousands while the country was under an internet blackout. According to the US-based human rights activist news agency, as of the 20th day of the protests, around 3,090 protesters were confirmed dead, 2,055 severely injured, and more than 22,000 arrested. Iran's internet shutdown continues over large swathes of the country, crossing the 200-hour mark. But the Monitor NetBlocks says that the internet has returned, albeit to only 2% of ordinary levels. Despite calm returning on the domestic front, Iran is facing new external threats. A representative of an Iranian Kurdish separatist faction in Iraq claimed that his group's armed wing has launched attacks on Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard Corps in recent days in retaliation for Tehran's crackdown or violent crackdown on their protesters.
In Kermanshah, when the regime savagely attacked the people, the units of the National Army of Kurdistan were forced to respond with guns. And the same thing happened in Ilam and Firuzkoh. We published an official statement that these activities were carried out by the units of the National Army of Kurdistan. We did not turn a blind eye when it comes to support or providing supplies to our people. We do our best for our nation.
France's Foreign Minister Jean-Noel Barrot said that its embassy in Tehran has reached out to registered nationals in the country and confirmed that one French-Iranian woman had been injured in the protests. Meanwhile, several nations are pressing the United Nations Human Rights Council to convene an emergency session over alarming violence in Iran. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency has urged airlines to steer clear of Iranian airspace. The agency cautioned that the presence of multiple weapons and air defense systems and potential activation of surface-to-air missiles creates a serious danger to civilian flights at all altitudes. The Munich Security Conference announced that it has withdrawn invitations to Iranian officials for this year's gathering. It cited the regime's violent crackdown on protests as a reason. Amid escalating tensions in Iran, several Indian nationals returned to India. This comes after an advisory was issued by the Indian government urging citizens to leave the country. We earlier spoke to Dr. Sayed Emamian, who is an assistant professor at Tehran Polytechnic and founder and former director of the governance and policy think tank, and this is what he told us.
Russia and China both, and also some other emerging economies like, I would say, India, are very much concerned about the security of the West Asia, and particularly with regards to the supply chain of the energy security from the region. They are very much concerned of keeping the routes for energy supply safe and open. So it seems that economically they are very much concerned about the situation in the West Asia and particularly in the Persian Gulf. So they are going to take a part and to mediate and to get in to mediate between Iran and some other countries that they are always threatening to violate Iranian sovereignty and to attack Iran. That's my take from the Russian point of view.